Good day to all. Welcome to Extreme Recap. Welcome to Extreme Recap. Today, I'll explain the film Companion Zone, which was released in 2019 and introduces us to a student at a secondary school named Gink near the beginning. Her father is hurrying her to school one day. She jumps over the wall and into the car of one of her friends, Pom Gink, instead of going to class. Pom and she play hooky that day because Pom accepts that her dad is involved in extramarital affairs. With the father of the gang, they travel to the airport. Who is anticipated to be employed? It turns out that the gang's father is going to Chiang Mai by plane, Thailand, so they buy tickets together and fly to the same location when the plane lands. They continue to follow her father as he checks into a hotel. They also decide to stay in the same hotel. They reserve a room adjacent to his and attempt to bypass the room's wall to hear his conversation as a result. Palmer just ganged up to return because he's worried about being taken away. Be that as it may, Gank says no. She tries once more. Be that as it may, can't hear her father's conversation with no choice. Left Pom also takes part, and they eventually get ready to hear her dad talk about how he found out he was having an unofficial relationship. Gink goes to speak with her father after learning about this. However, Pom cries and says no to her. Gink concurs, and both of them load onto a trip back to Bangkok, where they grew up. During the entire flight, while covering her face with a blanket, Gink screams. She is so devastated by her father's betrayal that she cries in Pom's arms as he tries to console her. After Pom declares that he loves her, the Dink inquires about the kind of love he is referring to. Pom then states that he considers her a friend and loves her. He acknowledges that they can stay together for a really long time, expecting they remain mates. The screams of Gank get even louder. In any case, they've remained extremely close from that point onward. In the following scene, Gank is shown with a boyfriend named Lewis, but her relationship with Pom remains unchanged. They usually spend time together and do fun things like go on trips, sing, eat a romantic meal, and even sing. In 2019, Pom and Gink will get hitched once and for all. While Gink is performing on stage, Pom and his friends are discussing how their relationship progressed from close friends to marriage. Pom starts his account by expressing that Gink's separation with Lewis was the start of everything. After being together for 8 years, Pom just got a job as a flight attendant. As a result, he has no trouble securing flights throughout Asia. He will always help a Gink. On that day, he also pays a visit to her house to cheer her up. Later on, Pom takes her to her recording studio, where a session artist explains to her that love and relationships are pointless. Gink agrees with her and says that they will never date again. The following day, Pom asks Gink if she plans to date again while they are riding their bikes. The latter, on the other hand, responds that she believes she is still seeking a trustworthy partner. Pom is blissful thus. He smiles as well. In 2018, Gink's new boyfriend, Ted, is an artist and music producer. Ted offers Gank the valuable chance to sing with him one night while them three are at a party. Gank agrees, but she did so unconsciously. She tumbles off the stage and breaks her leg the moment the emergency vehicle arrives. The gang can only be accompanied by one person. Ted and Pom both want to go on the ambulance ride, but Gink chooses Ted and tells Pom to have fun at the party instead. Pom is clearly distraught, but he is powerless to do anything about it. After that, Pom is going on vacation for a few weeks in Yangon, Myanmar. He is not serious about being in a relationship with his new girlfriend. His only girl has always been Gink. Moreover, she calls him to illuminate him that she isn't feeling great. She adds that she is vomiting and has not had her period. As a result, she is stressed and alone, and she believes she is pregnant. Malaysia's capital. When Pom hears this, he immediately flees to Malaysia and arrives at the Gink's Inn as quickly as could be expected. From that point onward, he gives her a pregnancy test and holds up behind the latrine entryway. The outcome is made clear shortly after. Additionally, Gink is blessed not to be pregnant. Following that, Gink makes it abundantly clear that she is concerned about Ted's involvement in an extramarital affair. Because of her leg, Gink is unable to join Ted as he works on a collection with artists from a few Asian countries. However, when she finds a receipt for a dinner at an extravagant hotel, her doubts grow. Owing to this, Paul and Gink decide to eat at the same restaurant and ask about the staff. The servers, however, can't remember if Ted was around Palm at the time, but he starts imitating him in a funny way, and Gink joins in by imitating a strange singer trying to attract Ted. Later, the two of them return to the restaurant. Gink also informs Palm that she will be visiting Ted in Cambodia. As a result, Palm informs her that he will also resume work. After that, she hugs him and tells him how fortunate she is to have him. Palm likewise gives her an embrace and grins, despite the fact that she is miserable about leaving. Ted and Gink meet up in Cambodia in the following scene and participate in a recording session together. When she sees Ted being overly permissive with a vocalist, she becomes envious in that location. After the couple has returned to their hotel, Gink continues to look for evidence that Ted is cheating on her. When he goes to bed, she goes through his suitcase and finds a condom with a broken piece. At the airport later, Palm's girlfriend leaves him. He abruptly sees Gink there as he is upset done with this. Gink informs him that she is traveling to Hong Kong to monitor Ted and Joyce, who she thinks Ted is having an unsanctioned romance with. After that, the best friends once more leave. However, Palm travels with Gink to Hong Kong with him on the flight. When they get there, they eat dinner at a restaurant near Ted's studio. When Ted calls, Gink informs him that once he finishes recording, he will return to the hotel. Gink, on the other hand, notices Ted and another girl leaving when she looks out the window. Squashed with the exposure G-Inc., close by Palm rush to follow Ted, expecting he'll rush toward the motel. Unfortunately, they lose track of him and choose to proceed immediately to the hotel. When they discover that Ted has not yet arrived, they wait for him in the lobby. A taxi unexpectedly shows up, and a lady gets out in the wake of sitting tight for quite a long time. In anticipation of the most terrible, Gink promptly shuts her eyes. However, fortunately, a senior citizen emerges from it. Time passes. However, when Ted does not show up, Gink is concerned. She tries calling him multiple times, but he doesn't answer. He thought Ted might pick up his phone or hands an answer from an unknown number at that exact moment. Gink hangs up the phone without saying a word as the call is answered. Gink is ruined by this. She is now convinced that Ted is having an affair, so they leave the hotel and get on a bus with an open top. She can't think of anything else but Ted's betrayal, so when Palm tries to cheer her up, she doesn't say anything. When a billboard comes close to them, Gink abruptly gets up from her seat. She shouts in dread as she clings to it for some time. Palm, fortunately, is able to bring her down when the bus turns around. Gink wraps her in his arms as he does so on the train. Additionally, other travelers should be visible later taking pictures of them. Palm informs Gink that the following day he will be returning home. However, in this circumstance, Gink does not wish for him to leave. Owing to this, on his trip to Thailand, she is with him. Palm still needs to catch a flight to Bangkok, but Gink insists that they remain in Krabi. Gink decides to stay in a hotel because Palm promises to meet him after his shift. After he finishes his duty, Palm joins Gink in the hotel room, where she looks awful. He ridicules her by applying her makeup and taking her beauty care products box. After that, they leave the lodging and travel through the forest. When an unexpected monkey appears on the road while they are driving, Palm stops the motorcycle, Gink leaps to her feet, and they continue their journey on a motorcycle. Notwithstanding, she will not have the option to get much of anywhere. As if she were with him, Palm tells her to relax on the bike. Palm speeds up quickly, but when he looks back, he sees Gink following him. The monkey rode the motorcycle first, it turned out. Palm immediately reverses his bike in an attempt to capture Gink, but the latter becomes enraged and yells at him. She is experiencing stomach pain, so they have to stop their trip. Likewise, Gink comprehends that she failed to bring tissues. After that, Palm presents her with his socks, which she declines because she is forced to do so. A palm is given to her. His shirt so Gink can go to the restroom. The couple continues their excursion in the subsequent scene, and they are now in the city. There, people chuckle at Palm as he's riding through the clamoring street, shirtless in the afternoon. Gink plays Ted's song to Palm as they walk to the beach. She says that she could do without the melody. Palm adds his own lyrics to the song as a result, which makes her smile as they enjoy their time together. It starts to get dim. So Gink demands that Palm return to their housing. When they arrive, Palm reluctantly agrees to join Genk as she prepares a beer-infused bath. Moreover, behind him, Ji-ink shampoos his hair. Their gaze suddenly shifts to meet, giving the impression that they are kissing. However, Gink is unable to continue. Palm understands the situation because they have been best friends for a very long time. From that point forward, Genk gets close to home and asks Ted for what reason he undermines her. After hearing this from other women, Palm realizes that he was being used. Accordingly, the two get into a contention. After a while, prior to falling asleep, the two at long last recovered and vowed to go to Europe together to see Aurora Borealis. Genk is invited to visit the temple by Palm, on the off chance that she isolates from Ted. A few days later, Genk follows Ted to a Myanmar studio, but when he gets too close to a singer, he becomes envious. Enraged, she grabs the microphone and inquires about Ted's Hong Kong affair. Found Ted finally admits that he was having extramarital affairs during the act. He apologizes to Genk for his mistakes as she is about to leave. Close to home, Genk additionally chooses to offer him one more opportunity. In the subsequent scene, Genk meets Palm in the sanctuary and informs him that she has given Ted another chance. Palm says that he's sorry he didn't date Genk or go to high school. He is grief-stricken by the disclosure. He decides to leave after that, but Genk pursues him, claiming that he is the most important person in her life. She also asserts that if they were dating, their relationship would not last as long. Despite this, Palm leaves the location without a pause. And the two haven't spoken since. One day, while shopping with Ted, Genk hears a song she used to listen to with Palm. She begins to recall almost every memory she shared with Palm at this point, including their traumatic trip to Hong Kong and secondary school together. Here, she realizes that Palm was her primary companion throughout all of her good and bad times. A few months later, while she was riding her bicycle, Genk suddenly noticed Palm and raced after him. She lets him know that she has said a final farewell to Ted. Palm questions, in the event that it was because of another relationship. In contrast, Genk responds that the reason she ended their relationship was that she wanted to marry Palm because she loved him and go to Europe to see the Northern Lights. The proposal is immediately accepted by Paul, and the two of them exchange happy hugs. We are taken to the present, where Palm lets his companions know that things have been like this with Genk for a considerable length of time, as the story comes to a nearby. From that point forward, when Ji-ink understands that the ring he gave her is missing, he moves toward her and gets some information about it. The members of the party begin their search. After a while, finally, Palm moves toward the ring. He proposes to Genk at the movie's conclusion by handing her the ring. All of that came from the video. Turn on notifications, please subscribe for more videos like this, and like the channel to support it. Thank you very much for watching.